Opponent going to return the Electrostatic Pummeler and the Greenbelt Rampager. Oh my gosh. Brutal. Greetings, everyone. I am glad to be here, and I am glad that you are here. Today's jank is in Historic, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited. Many of you may know my username on here is Pummeler. So I am going to be playing an Electrostatic Pummeler deck today. And honestly, I'm kind of excited. This is one of those decks that can kind of go either way. Either it might be great or it might be terrible. But I think when it goes off, it's at least going to be fun. So even if the deck isn't very good, I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We'll see, though. What is going on here, you might ask? Electrostatic Pummeler enters the battlefield. You get 3 energy. Pay 3 energy. Electrostatic Pummeler gets +X, where X is its power. So you double Electrostatic Pummeler's size every time you pay 3 energy. So if it's a 1/1, it's a 3-mana 1/1 right now. If it's a 1/1, you pay 3 energy, it becomes a 2/2. Yeah! Which is clearly what we're trying to do. It's not. No. Ladies and gentlemen, we are trying to use pump spells like Rimrock Knight, like Highspire Infusion, like Blossoming Defense, and most importantly, Collision Colossus, the Colossus side, of course, to give it large boosts of power, and then use its ability to pump, or to double that power. So let's say we give this thing a Colossus. That's +4/+2. It becomes a 5/3. Trample, very important. 5/3 trample. Then let's say we go ahead and pop an Inscription of Abundance, put 2 1/1 counters on it. It's now a 7/5. That's a big creature until the end of turn, but it's not like crazy. But we spend 3 energy, folks, 3 energy, and then it's huge. It goes up to 14 power, right? Trampling. Notably, this does not cause Electrostatic Pummeler to tap. Obviously, that would be useless. You wouldn't be able to attack. So you can do it more than once, though. So the real money here is if you can activate Electrostatic Pummeler twice in the same turn. So getting up to 6 energy. Electrostatic Pummeler comes with its own 3, but having the ability to have another 3 from somewhere else. So that we could, let's say, Collision Colossus, make this a 5/3, right? Double its power and toughness. It's now a 10. Pretty good. But if we have 6 energy, no. It's a 20, because we double it again, right? All trampling. So that's what we want. And so that's why this is kind of one of the most important cards in the deck. For the trample and the very large pump ability. But what other cards do we have? Like I already mentioned, the Blossoming Defense for pump spell, the Primal Might for both control and a pump spell, the Inscription of Abundance for control and a pump spell, but notably this is an instant, so we can like pass the turn, allow them to take their turn, hopefully nothing too crazy happens, then we kick Inscription of Abundance, theoretically, put 2 counters on Electrostatic Pummeler, fight something, gain some life, stay in the game, and we're setting up for next turn to be able to do a really, really crazy thing, theoretically, because we can put the counters on Electrostatic Pummeler that will not go away at the end of turn. Most of our pump spells are only until the end of turn do they get larger, right? And then, of course, Rimrock Knight as well. Highspire Infusion. One might think this is a very, very good card. +3/+3 and get 2 energy. And it could be. It's just, there is no trample. It is 2 mana cost. So I don't know. By the end of this, we may be like, man, I wish we had more Highspire Infusions. Because getting that energy, being able to go off in the 1 turn, very, very powerful. We'll see. It seems right now like a little bit of a less powerful Giant Growth, and you'll notice Giant Growth is not even on the list. So if Giant Growth's not going to make the list, I don't know about Highspire Infusion, but we'll see. Maybe I'm mistaken. We're at least going to give it a try as a one of, and then we'll see later. Other pump effects we have here our Vivian, distribute 2 1/1 counters, gain trample until the end of turn. But of course, the counters stay. So, notably, we can pump Electrostatic Pummeler in the same way we were talking about with Inscription of Abundance, have them stay. Garrick, very notably, comes down, helps stabilize the board, giving us more creatures, but also gives +3/+3 and trample, right? So, very powerful cards. We'll see. They're not so much going to help us in the turn we combo, unless we can get them down early. So, I don't know. We'll see. Notably, also Embercleave, doing +1/+1, double strike and trample. I don't think I need to defend. That Embercleave is a strong card, especially if we are needing trample, which we are, and we are going to be putting on a large creature, which we are hopefully also going to do. So, you know. That said, we are only a 20 land deck, so I'm a little concerned. We might struggle on lands. Admittedly, we do have the 4 Attune with Aethers. So, this is technically closer to a 24 land deck, somewhere in the middle. But I think this is fine. Heck, it's possible we even end up with too many mana, right? But we'll see. We currently don't have much card draw. We do have a single Llanowar Visionary, again, trying to get enough mana down on the board to develop our board position so that Electrostatic Pummeler we can all go off in one turn with. Similar situation with Servant of Conduit. Comes down, makes some energy, though. Very important. And we can kind of arrange enough mana to go all off in one turn. Also notable that these are creatures that come down in the early game while also, you know, giving us energy. These can help us lower our opponent's life total, because a lot of the time we won't be able to just deal 20 unblocked damage to the opponent. When the opponent sees an Electrostatic Pummeler, they will typically get cautious, or at least they did back in Standard. We'll see today. And leave creatures back to block. So oftentimes, it's not 20 damage. You're going to have to do 24, 26, 28 damage, because they're really trying to be cautious, but there's only so much you can do, right? So being able to get our opponent's life total down to like 14, definitely very, very helpful. And, you know, since we're in Historic, Shocklands are kind of all over the place, so that helps a little bit as well. Did not mention the Greenbelt Rampager. I do think it's possible this is supposed to be a 4-of, but it does provide us energy, but also eat up our energy. I don't know. It's technically a 1-mana 3/4 if we have energy already, but by the time we have energy already, the 1-mana 3/4 power level is not as good, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And then, of course, just Bristling Hydra for more energy, but also a you know, diversified threat, and Bonecrusher Giant for control. So, all that being said, folks, I think the deck has potential to be good, but we can't ever tell until we take it out for a spin. So, let's go do that. All right, folks, here we are up against Vereja, and unfortunately, just a 1-lander. We're going to have to send that one back. This is not great, but I think we are going to hang on to it. Send back the extra copy of Pummeler. We will need to draw lands here, darn it. Hey, Attune with Aether. That'll do it. So let's grab ourselves a forest. And play it. Robber the Rich, come on down, sure. We are on the mulligan, so our opponent has more cards than we do. Well, folks, we will need to continue drawing lands here. But, okay, we will play this. We weren't going to play the Electrostatic Pummeler until we had Blossoming Defense. But here we are. All right, opponent lights up the stage. Has a Cavalcade and a Robber of the Rich. Opponent goes for the Skewer. We will Blossoming Defense here. All right, our turn. So we're going to collision, pump, swing for 36 trampling damage. GG. Folks, that may not have been that may not have seemed overly fair to our opponent, but that is exactly how we drew it up, so I'm not going to complain. Again, folks, you'll remember we had accrued all this energy from casting Attune with Aether, the Servant of the Conduit, and we didn't spend any of that energy. And then Pummeler enters with its own energy as well, so 3 energy here. So we were up to 7 energy. And then we got all that power and toughness by Colossus, +4/+2, Colossus, +4/+2. So this becomes a 9 power creature. And then just doubling its power. That's a lot of power. So GG, opponent, GG. All right. Well, let's see if we can draw into our Pummeler here, shall we? So let's tune with Aether. Get ourselves another foe rest. Opponent will Mind Stone. And another Mind Stone. Heavens to Murgatroyd, folks. I'm pretty sure things are already out of hand. Whatever is going on over there is unwholesome for sure. Oh boy, it's a Karn. Yeah. Not cool, man. Not cool. Yeah, mono brown, very, very scary. But this brown infused green is also very scary. No question about it. They can get to a lot of mana in a hurry and really cause some havoc. So let's go ahead and kill Karn the Great Creator. Cast a Greenbelt Rampager, I guess. Not excited about this, but it is what it is. Nesu shakes the world. All right. This does at least keep them from being able to God Pharaoh statue this turn, which is nice. All right, explore, draw a card, get to make another land drop. Do you have another forest? They do. So that one was a freebie. Just an extra land onto the battlefield. Arboreal Grazer. Darn it, folks. That card is really annoying here. Just the extra blocker means that they can keep Nissa alive. That's a good one, though. So if we Inscription of Abundance this turn, we get rid of the forest. Yeah. We really wanted to kick the Inscription of Abundance, but I don't think we can. Alright, so combat. And Nesu shakes the world. Because they might just kill us if we don't. Right? They could have an Ulamog here, right, as the last card. If not, we already know we're kind of getting blown out here by Meteor Golems and God Pharaoh statues and all kinds of nonsense, right? But just leaving that on the battlefield means we could just be dead, right? So, opponent did not have it, so there is that. That's good for us. Okay. We get some energy. Going to get in. Going to cast a Pummeler. Get some more energy and pass. Likely going to have our opponent run out the Meteor Golem, so we're going to have to defend Pummeler with the Blossoming Defense. Indeed. What? Alright, well, we will allow that. Yeah. Attune. For a mountain. Should have been a forest there, shouldn't it? Yeah, that was wrong. And let's get in. Blossoming Defense. Double. 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 Take 24? Duder, that was greedy. I don't think they were respecting what Electrostatic Pummeler could potentially do there. But a good game nonetheless, and it was an honor to face off against you. Good game, good game. Alright, folks, here we are on the play. Yeah, we'll keep this. Going to start on turn 1 Attune with Aether. Get a forest from our deck. And pass. Opponent going to go with a turn 1 Gilded Goose. Oh boy, is this Sultai Yorion, I think? This is a thing we have seen. It does appear to be really strong, folks. Well, we're going to steal off that Attune with Aether mana for our Greenbelt Rampager to be able to start swinging in. Just to hopefully influence our opponent's life total a wee bit. Opponent goes with Uro, Titan Nature's Wrath, going to gain some life, draw a card, put a land onto the battlefield. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, let's get in. Sure, Electrostatic Pummeler, come on down, my friend. Do not kill our Electrostatic Pummeler, folks. We're going to need a lot of things to go right here. But the first thing that needs to go right is our opponent not to have a way of killing Electrostatic Pummeler. Oh my gosh, it's Panharmonicon. That is terrifying. Holy crud. Well, we do have Blossoming Defense. That part's good. So we could give 4... So that would be a 5, 6, 7 times 2. Okay. Green. 14. Opponent drops to 1. And we do have Colossus here. Opponent going to return the Electrostatic Pummeler and the Greenbelt Rampager. Oh my gosh. Brutal. Oh my goodness, thank heavens. We drew the Stomp. Holy cow. That was close. GG, opponent. Because, of course, you know, I say, oh, that's close. Like, but, you know, they were down at 1 or whatever. Well, Panharmonicon, holy cow, folks. That can do really, really silly things. Not the least of which would be something like Uro, right? When it enters the battlefield, gain 3 life, draw a card. So if they Panharmonicon out, and they have Uro, just... They don't even get the Uro that stays on the battlefield. No, they just cast it out of their hand. They gain 6 life, draw 2 cards. Suddenly they're at 7. All the work we've done is basically undone. Like, we had this turn, very likely, to be able to get them out of this. Or to get out of this. It's also possible they had other elemental type things. If you're in Sultai, a lot of those people are running Risen Reefs and stuff like that. They can just bury some card advantage in a hurry. So thank heavens. That was a close one, folks. That was a close one. But either way, definitely a good game from our opponent. Definitely a good game. All right, folks, we're back, and I did have fun, that's true. But I'm not gonna lie, a little disappointed with the deck. We did not have a great win-loss record. I think we lost 5-1-3, so we actually lost 2 more games than we won. So I think there's something to do here. I think there is a potential way for this deck to be good. But man, oh man, I don't think this particular list is getting there. What things might I change? I don't know. A number of our losses were centered around card advantage, and we just don't have any of that. So, you know, maybe the Great Henge. It's possible. It does also grow our creatures as long as they're cast after the Great Henge. The problem is with this deck, we're not casting big creatures originally, so the Great Henge is not going to regularly be a, you know, 3 or 4 drop like it is in a lot of mono green decks. It's going to be a 5 or 6 drop. Now, it's also true, we were always flooding out in this deck. I have no idea how this 20 land deck could flood out so hard, but even in some of our wins, man, we just had a lot of lands compared with what we would expect. Now, again, there is the Attune with Aether, but I don't know. It's possible we don't even want as many lands as we have if this is the current list. We could potentially go down maybe the Vivian and the Garruk. Of course, the sideboard here just for Vivian Arcbow Ranger. We could potentially go down these two and maybe up some other early game stuff and just cut down a couple more lands. I don't know. We were flooding out so hard. A little disappointing in that regard. It could have just been bad luck. I mean, that's... Sometimes you run poor. So that is a thing I can accept, but I don't like to make excuses for my decks either. You know, if a deck does poorly, I want to know why, and I want to try and fix it, right? So, in that way, I did have a lot of fun. You know, when we did go off, it was crazy and awesome, and it felt great. But if you're going to have to craft most of these whole cloth, I think you would want to do it a little differently. How differently? Great question. I'm not entirely sure right now until we're able to get a few more games under our belt with it. So, the Highspire Infusions, when we cast them, were good. I know I mentioned in the deck tech how I was afraid this would underperform, and if anything, it did overperform. So this might be something we want a few more of. We didn't end up caring about the creature portion of Rimrock Knight very much, so maybe we could just cut right here. Both of these Rimrocks go up the Highspire Infusions, maybe. Also, yeah, maybe just the land situations, because we were flooding out so hard. I don't really know. It's also notable that I don't think I saw Embercleave a single time, not even once. So maybe it's supposed to be a 3 of. We need to see it more often. I think that could be a really key card in this deck, particularly if we're flooding out. You know, if we attack with Electrostatic Pummeler, there's just not a whole lot going on. We have 5 mana, though. Darn it, we can cast an Embercleave, and at least we'll have something going on. And then doubling its power, giving it... Or it already has double strike. If it becomes a 2/2 during combat, and then we double its power to a 4/4, it's already got double strike and trample, darn it. We didn't have to have any other pump spells at all. That's a lot of damage. So I also think, like, in the whatever, I think 8 games, like I say, I'm pretty sure we lost 5-1-3. I don't think we saw Embercleave even one time. So again, possibly running poor, but possibly it's just because we need another one. This could be, it's supposed to be a 3-up. Embercleave, very, very powerful. I don't think I need to defend that. Also relevant, though, we lost to mono white life gain at least twice, but maybe 3 times. And I do think that's also a really bad matchup for us. They're going to go tall enough that we can't really attack through them. They've got indestructible creatures, so they'll always block with them if they're in a bad spot. And if they're not in a bad spot, they just get to attack with impunity every turn because they're indestructible and very, very large creatures. And then on top of that, they also gain a ton of life. Because like we said, a lot of the time we can deal 16 or 18 damage, sometimes even more, but if you're at 27 life, that just doesn't do it, right? So I know some of our losses were bad luck, but let me know down in the comments below, how do you feel like this deck should be built? How do we go about it to make it better? If you're going to suggest cards, please do. But also try and think of cards we might cut out. Because, I mean, Llanowar Visionary, not super exciting, but does draw a card. I don't know. It does kind of stand out as an odd card, so maybe that can go. But outside of that, there's just... every card serves a purpose. So let me know when we're replacing cards, how we might change that. Because I'm going to play this tonight on the stream, darn it. So I don't want to play a bad deck all night. So give me a hand. Give me a hand. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a stream. Twitch.tv/johnlikesgames. Link in the description below. And I'd love for you to come out and join us. Just come on out, darn it. We love making friends. So if you want to be a part of a community that likes playing Magic and not just the same old tier decks you see every single night, we build jank and play jank and have a great time. Some jank is better than other jank, it's true, but darn it, we have a lot of fun and we'd love for you to join us. You know, for what it's worth, I do just appreciate you staying here. If you've been here this long, you've watched a long video of me fumbling through some nonsense, and I appreciate that. So thank you for all those committed viewers out there watching this video, and I will catch you next time.